he became the first demon prince, Be'lakor.
Be'lakor is one of, if not the strongest unit in the Chaos Demons Codex, and his personal army of renown is now better than ever. I think it's gone from unusable to great. We're talking about the Disciple of Be'lakors in the Demons Codex. You essentially get one double page of restrictions, benefits and strats, and in itself the true power of this army can't really be seen straight away. Let's look at the restrictions first, and there are a lot. Be'lakor is your warlord, you can't take a demon prince or name characters, no greater demons or demon engines, and nothing from name god Chaos Space Marines like Death Guard, Thousand Sons, World Eaters or Emperor's Children. Demons and Chaos Space Marines can't be in the same detachment, and when you include demon units you have to have one from each god before you can have a second one from the same god. You can take one Chaos Knight as long as it's from House Korvax. You can bring Chaos Space Marine units, but they don't benefit from Legion specific rules or strats, for example, and you can't apply any marks of chaos to them. And the benefits. Everyone becomes a Disciple of Be'lakor, and you'll see that this opens up quite a lot. You can still use the Demon Warp Store points, which is great. The Chaos Knight can be upgraded using the Blessings of the Dark Master option, and crucially gets to keep all its house abilities. All troops are OBSEC. Chaos Space Marines can still use generic things from their codex, just not the Legion specific bits. Psykers can use powers from their god specific range, or use a NOCTIC discipline as well. And everyone gets +1 to combat attrition rolls, so things will stick around longer, and -1 to hit for ranged over 12 inches. So what is so good about this particularly? The -1 to hit is good, but the combat attrition buff is a bit meh. You are ending up trading away a lot of your strongest units that are available to you. The ability to combine so many parts of essentially 3 books together without losing the abilities is really strong. Demons, Chaos Space Marines, Chaos Knights. It's such a lovely soup. You can cherry pick the best units from all the gods and factions, and while stuff is restricted, there's still loads of choice. Chaos Space Marines are in a particularly strong position at the moment, and you still get to use a lot of their base strats and abilities, and you can really make the most out of Be'lakor, his Warlord trait and Psychic discipline. As a lot of what he does targets Disciples of Be'lakor, this all now becomes available. And you can take a Chaos Knight because they're all so strong at the moment, so good to bring into an army, and it keeps all its house traits. I'll review some of the abilities and then afterwards some of the units that are available to you. Warp Storm points, a new Chaos Demon ability, 8 undivided options available, and I've picked out 3 particularly good ones. Dark Invigoration for 5 Warp Storm points. During a morale phase, every unit in your army can get some healing, either add D3 wounds to a model, or return D3 1 wound models. This is great to avoid triggering morale issues. Primeval Terror for 3 Warp Storm points, now that's -3 for Be'lakor. Music of the Warp for 2 Warp Storm points. Demonic Terror effects doubles to 12-inch aura. The NOCTIC discipline, the special Be'lakor psychic powers. Loads of good options, picking out just a few. Make a unit untargetable over 12 inches for Warp Charge 7, or the best, which is to teleport a unit anywhere for Warp Charge 6. There are loads of strats available from Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines and Disciples of Be'lakor. Just a couple from Chaos Space Marines which you know are good. Hatred Eternal for 2 CP, shoot twice, and Death to the False Emperor for 1 CP, reroll the hit roll. Then a few to highlight from the Disciples of Be'lakor. Shadow Pact for 1 CP. You can give a unit one of 4 possible buffs. +1 attack, 5 plus invuln, +1 toughness, or +1 to move, advance and charge. You can also auto-pass morale for demons for 2 CP, or turn a failed save into 0 damage for 2 CP. A quick look at Be'lakor himself. You will be making the most of him in this army, and he's already the best unit to have. He buffs demons and his abilities can now benefit Chaos Space Marines. His NOCTIC discipline, his own abilities and his Warlord trait can all buff them. He's a Warp Locus, which allows demon units to come in from reserve within 6 inches of him and 6 inches of an enemy. He really makes the most of this rule as he has every god keyword so any unit can use it. And Demon Terror, coupled with the general demon ability, having Be'lakor reduces leadership by 2 and minuses 2 from combat attrition, so people will really be running away. Some of the best Chaos Space Marine units to bring in this army. You got the Master of Possession, great for buffing your army. They're also a Warp Locus for the deep striking ability. Chaos Terminators, 2+ save and Armour of Contempt. They've got combi bolters for shooting, and they've got good melee with a Power Fist or cursed weapons. The Possessed and the Warped Talons, fast, tough, dangerous melee, both 28 points each. Master of Executions, very cheap at 65 points, really hard hitting, and may be averaging 3 to 4 mortal wounds in addition when he's near Be'lakor. Spawn, great unit that will hit hard and stick around with 4 wounds each. They also have an auto regeneration ability so that each turn they regain all the lost wounds. Dark Apostle, reliable way to get prayers off which really buff the Chaos Space Marines well. And Obliterators adds a bit of ranged threat to your army. These will do the job nicely. Work well with Master Possessions, and all in all, relatively good price for 90 points each. The fact that you can take a Knight is actually really strong, and probably the strongest one available at the moment is the Abominant at 430 points. Good shooting and melee, and for an extra 30 points, which is really worth it, You can upgrade with the Blessing of the Dark Master. That gives it great defensive buffs where you can't reroll hits, wounds or damage against it. And the favoured ability means you can only hit it on a 4+. It has good psychic powers as well, giving himself a 5+ feel no pain, or better melee with +1 to wound and extra mortal wounds. Through the game it will be getting stacking buffs with the Harbingers of Dread ability. The Army of Renown is a great way to do Chaos Soup because you've got all the options available to you and you can choose your favourite units. All the demon troops are great in their own right, there's loads of interesting characters you can bring along to buff, and then the Chaos Space Marines has got loads as well. And I've taken an army to event before with Be'lakor and a Knight in, and they were devastating together. Let me know what you think in the comments, I'd love to have a chat. See you again soon, bye!